Yes, I can hear you.
Perfect,
Can,
perfect.
can,
I had to change the. I was going with Safari, and StreamYard doesn't work in Safari, so I had to make some changes in the computer. So that's why it took a little
ah,
longer.
no,
Uh, I cannot hear you at all right now.
now can you hear me?
Yes, because it's. I think
Ah,
we are on a bad connection. Yeah, we try it like that.
okay, so, well, congratulations for the new record, the event falling. So my first question for you is about if if there is a overall theme behind the lyrics. But I noticed some religious aspects. I don't know if I'm right about it, like the fallen. What can I say about the themes of the record?
Well, first of all, it's not a concept album. We never written a concept album in the career of HammerFall, but I think there's a concept within the thought of like the lyrical concept that everything is circling around like two words. One of the words is freedom and the right to live the life that you want to live and be the person that you want to be. I mean, these are very, very kind of simple and like, yeah, you know what? It's, of course, I know. Yeah, but you need reminders about these things. Hey, no one should dictate anything when it's concerning you. If you want to grow a mustache, grow a mustache. I mean, it's your life. And overall, this is an album that I think might need some contemplation and it might raise some existential questions to the listeners. Maybe that is what you're referring to, like religious, but there's nothing religious except for the battle between the good and the evil. That you need to take, you can take inspiration from both sides, from hell and from heaven. But at the end of the day, you will make your own decisions. So that also represents the artwork on the album, where Hector smashes the chains for the good side and the bad side. Like, okay, I'm done with you guys. Now I'm just going to pursue my life the way I want to live it. So it's an album of freedom and hope.
Yes, and well, one of my favorites, right, is the ballad, the Hope Springs Eternal. And Hammerfall always had this tradition of making good ballads, right, from the previous records. How is for a heavy metal, a power metal band make a ballad? And what can you say about this particular one?
You know, when both me and Oster grew up during the 80s, all all metal bands were releasing fantastic ballads, and that was something that kind of was needed and expected on every metal album. I mean, you had, I mean, Scorpions when they did so many fantastic ballads, but still they were hard-driven, hard rock and heavy metal band. And to me, that was always a little, let's call it a pause on the album. Like you start with a fast song, you do like a mid tempo. It's so much power, power, power. So it's good to take it down a little bit and then to show that there's true talent within the band. That yeah, you know what, we can play. Yes, and I can sing a ballad, and that's also a way for me to show off. And as for Hope Springs Eternal, that is, in my opinion, the underdog of the album because this song turned out so damn good. This is an old idea that Oscar's been working on for many, 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 I would say like decades. And now finally he knew how to put things together and he sent it over to me and said, you think you can do something with this? So I listened to it and instantly I heard a melody in my head that became more or less everything in the verse. So this song was really easy to write. And also when it comes to the lyrical theme of this song, if it were not for hope, the human heart would break. If we don't have anything to hope for, what do we have to live for? So it might raise some important questions about existence and your time on earth. Learn from yesterday, hope for tomorrow, but life is right here, right fucking now. A mantra we should never forget.
Yes, and well, songs like "Hail to the King" and "Avenge the Fallen," we can hear the presence of choirs, right? And these choirs have always been some part of the identity of HammerFall. Like for example, Hearts on Fire. We always what can you say about the presence of choir in HammerFall history and talking about, for example, these classics and these new songs?
Yeah, if you go, I mean, on this album, there's a lot of choirs. The main difference on this album is that we have real singers doing the choirs. Usually we just have some friends coming in and they just shout, hey, oh, and to make it really big as a football, like a football fan choir. But now for this album, it was more singing going on. So we had some really great singers doing these backup vocals. We had John Bush, former Anthrax singer in from Armored Saint, was singing. We had the new guy from Metal Church, Mark Lopez, was singing. We had the singer from Syra, Jake E. We had the singer from Dream Evil, Niklas. And, great singers that would just add a lot of power to it. And if you listen to HammerFall from the first album up until album number 13, Avenge the Fallen, I mean, there's a red line. The choirs are so damn important. I mean, that is, of course, a trademark for HammerFall, and also something that we took with us and something that inspired us in the 80s with bands like Accept, for instance. They had really, really cool, shout choirs that kind of made their identity, so to speak. So, no, I think we have developed that, and yes, it's very important. And it also invites the listener, especially when you come to see a show, it invites everyone to be part of the song because they know exactly when avenge, avenge, avenge the fallen comes. Just sing along and have some fun.
Yes, and well, uh, some, I don't know, months ago, I checked an interview with Oscar, and he said that he doesn't consider Hammerfall a power metal band, but a heavy metal band.
Yes.
What's your opinion about it? Because many guys consider you power metal, and if you are not, which bands do you consider power metal band?
Um, I consider HammerFall being a heavy metal band because within the frames of heavy metal, you can do so many things. You can play faster songs, you can play mid-tempo songs, you can do ballads, and still be within the frame of heavy metal. Uh, Power metal to me was more of a little more aggressive bands. I think power metal came from the US. They somehow, with Iced Earth, for instance, I would say maybe that Blind Guardian is a little power metal. It's more bombastic, it's more pompous, so to speak. I think Hammerfall is more straightforward. We're more riff based. With power metal, it's extremely melodic and fast, I would say. But this is just my opinion. I have no idea. At the end of the day, it's just music.
Yes, yes. Um, well, I have another question talking a little bit about the past because it's in 2024 are celebrating 20 years from One Crimson Night, your wonderful classic DVD, right? So I want to know what your memories about it and which songs do you like the most back then when you performed it.
I mean, that was a really big tour. That was at the time the biggest tour we ever done, and I haven't watched that one for like 15 years. The cool thing is still it was recorded in our hometown. It was a sold out show. Unfortunately, it was the first show on the tour, so we were nervous as hell. Like, oh my god, everything has to work because not only is the premiere of the whole tour, we're also gonna immortalize this show by releasing it on both CD and DVD. back then, and VHS, I think, also. And I can't really remember much of the actual recording. We had some really cool. I remember we had Hector coming out with a torch and putting the floor on fire. I think he also put the some other. I'm not sure what he did, or was it maybe slam the hammer too? I can't remember. I have to watch it to be honest with you. Damn.
Yes, and well, some HammerFall songs like well, uh, Templars of Steel and Hearts on Fire, they talk about this historic theme, the Templars, right? So, what's our connection with this theme? When you guys started to learn about it, or maybe to like this kind of history theme?
Yeah, it's not that I like what the Templars did. I think what they did was pretty brutal, and I wouldn't really. I'm not behind that way of behavior. Let me tell you that. The Templars, they were out spreading the word about Christ, Christianity. So why we use the word Templars, the Templars of Steel, that's HammerFall. We are spreading the word of heavy metal music to the people. So we just use the same word to make to just to make it unique, and I think that people kind of understand. And the fans are the Templars of HammerFall because they are out there spreading the word about HammerFall, letting the whole world know that there is a heavy metal band called HammerFall and you should check it out. Uh, there is one song on the first album, On Glory to the Brave, called Steel Meets Steel. And that song is written from a Templar knight's point of view. He goes down to Jerusalem to fight to fight in the name of God, to convert people into Christianity. But we are not glorifying anything. We're not glorifying Christianity. We're not glorifying war. This is just a story about the Crusades, about this battle that took place.
Yes, and well, you wrote also some songs about fantasy stories, like for example, Game of Thrones. And which other books, movies, or series do you think that Hammerfall can write a song about it?
The thing is, if you many songs like now it's 10, 15 years ago has titles coming from the Game of Thrones books, just titles. And because Oscar was reading all these books, I had no clue about these
Mm,
books. He's just gave me a title and like, oh shit. And then I had to write something that worked for me. So none of these songs that Unbent, Unbowed, Unbroken, that comes from Game of Thrones, but the lyrics are has nothing to do with Game of Thrones. Nothing, nothing. It just made up ideas and histories from my own creativity up here. Now I've seen it, of course, the series. It's amazing, but I haven't written anything inspired by the series.
and do you like other series like this, or maybe books or movies?
Yeah, I'm consuming a lot of TV series. I'm watching The Boys now
Uh,
on Prime. I mean, that is hilarious. I mean, it's so violent. It's so crazy, but I cannot stop watching it. Books, yeah, I'm reading a lot of like biographies. I think it's nice to read about read about people. I just read RuPaul, a drag queen from the US, RuPaul's Drag Race. I just read his autobiography, finished yesterday. So yeah, no, a good book, always good for inspiration. And since you're in Brazil, Paulo Coelho. I read more or less everything with Coelho.
that's nice. Do you remember which book you like from Paulo Coelho?
The Alchemist, of course, and which one is the other? I was talking to a Brazilian person the other week about this, and we're gonna read Brida again at the same time. Then we're gonna discuss it. I'm gonna talk about it. Have like a book circle.
Yeah, well, that's nice. Um, well, back in 2022, you did a tour in Brazil with Halloween. So I want to ask you which songs from Halloween's discography that have the most impact in your life.
Uh, the first EP, Wall of Jericho, and then the Judas EP, and Keeper of the Seven Keys Part One. But everything, in my opinion, went down when Kai Hansen stopped singing, because Kai Hansen was my hero as a singer and a guitar player. I just loved his emotion, his was kind of desperation in his voice. But of course, also Keeper of the Seven Keys Part Two has some great songs. But I prefer to sing along with Ride the Sky, Heavy Metal is the Law, How Many Tears, Starlight, Warrior, Murderer. These old
So
songs.
many so. And you follow Kai Hansen in Gamma Ray after?
Absolutely. I was so happy when he started to sing in Gamma Ray. So I
Oh,
think
that's nice.
that Land of the Free is the album that should have been released after Walls of Jericho with Halloween. It's
Yeah.
so good, so good.
Yeah, I understand. And well, I was checking this set list of FM websites that compile some info about the band's concerts. I don't know if it's correct, but it said I read that the song that HammerFall played the most alive was "Let the Hammer Fall." I, what do you think that it's true, and what do you think of when you play the song live that maybe people don't like you, they don't let you put it away from the set list?
I am the person that don't want to put it away because that is my favorite song to sing. Also, the way I'm talking, before the song, I build up a lot of, not tension, but it's kind of a big release when the song starts. And that also came on Legacy of Kings in 1998, and it was way before we released Hearts on Fire. Because in the end, I think eventually Hearts on Fire is going to be have the crown. That song we
Yeah.
will always play. Let the Hammer Fall. I've been thinking maybe it's time to retire that song for a while. I don't know, see what happens. But I just love it, and it's so much HammerFall, that song.
Yes. And one thing, you have a solo career also, but you didn't release many records. What can the fans expect? Maybe in the future or something like that?
Don't expect anything. Just be surprised if something comes out. HammerFall takes up so much of my time, and I think we are in such a good place with HammerFall right now, and I don't have a need to express myself anywhere else at the moment. So I'm 100% HammerFall.
Maybe we can see you like in a feature with other bands, other artists.
I try to stay away from that because there are too many projects going on, and I think that the projects are pretty boring. To be honest with you, you should stick to your band, let your creativity flow within your band, and if you have, if I'm going to do something else, it has to be something different. It has to be something different. In metal, no, everything goes into Hammerfall. Maybe I will do something with some Swedish songs again, or folk music, or back to theater, doing musicals. Who knows?
Yeah, talking about this subject, can you name some other music genres that you like? Other, well, of course, other than heavy metal and classic rock, something like that.
I listen a lot to like singer-songwriters, which is kind of I love Nick Cave, for instance. Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, one of my absolute favorite artists. I listen to a guy called John Grant, fantastic. I listen to a lot of old soul music from the 60s, maybe into the 70s, like Marvin Gaye, Sam Cooke, great singers from from the Motown era, so to speak. A lot of Swedish singer-songwriters, like local singers. Uh, Good music is good music. As simple as
Yeah.
that, you know?
Well, as I am Brazilian, I need to ask if you know or you like any guys from Brazil.
I'm not really. The thing is, every country has its own kind of musical culture, and it's very big within your country. I mean, we have so many Swedish artists no one ever heard about outside of Sweden. So when it comes to Brazilian bands, I mean, it's the obvious with like Sepultura and bands like that. But I wouldn't say that I know any like pop singers or like singer songwriters or anything like that. And also, I think you have different types of genres that we don't even have up in Sweden.
Yes, yes, of course. And well, you recently posted a photo with the guys from Battle Beast. So I want to know your opinion about this band because they are like a kind of a new band, and maybe they have were influenced by HammerFall. I can see something like that.
Maybe you have to ask them about that, but they are a new generation also because they're younger than we are. We did a well. First of all, I did a duet with Nora for the song. We did like a special version of Second to One, and we had them on tour in Europe before the pandemic, which was a fantastic tour, and they're doing a great job. And it's kind of interesting to see that both Battle Beast and Beast in Black are doing great. Like the spin-off from Battle Beast that became Beast in Black, also a fantastic band. So no, we're great friends with Battle Beast, and I really appreciate what they're doing.
Yes, and well, you have a long career with HammerFall with ups and downs. So what do you think that was the most challenging, the most difficult moment you you experienced with HammerFall?
Uh, I think if you in hindsight, when you think about it, it's if you go through bad things, something good will come out of it. When we were in a bad place as a band, I would say right after Infected and that tour didn't really work out as we wanted, we took a break. I just said to the guys, hey, you know what? We cannot continue like this. Let's take 1 year off and just think about, where are we? Where do we want to go? And something really good came out of that. So I think that even though it was kind of the dark era of the band, because we were trying to find a management to work with, and the managements we signed with were horrible. They kind of, they destroyed the fun in playing music. So that was the darkest era, I would say. But something good came out of it. So you just need to get over things. You can't really sit and dwell upon bad things because that's going to eat you up, from the inside. We just said, fuck off. Let's take a break now for 1 year. And when we came back with Revolution, I think Hammerfall came back with a bang. People didn't expect this. Like, oh, wow, what happened here? And from Revolution and on, it's been constant going up.
Yes, yes. And well, what do you think that is your vocal work that you are most proud about? And what about Oscar's guitar work that you think that he really did a great job?
I mean, Oscar is he's a riff master. I mean, he's written like so many timeless classic guitar riffs, I would say, and also he has a very good sense of melodies as well. My, sometimes I'm very proud of more or less everything that I have recorded and everything that I achieved as a singer. I can't really pinpoint or say that, this song or that part, because now with Hammerfall, I've written 130 songs, and it's really
So,
hard to keep track of everything. And I'm just happy that I'm still here. My voice is still my friend, and I can still, perform live and sing the songs they were supposed to be sung.
yeah, and what about the most difficult ones? Because well, maybe when you get the years go passing, maybe your voice not the same. But I don't know if it's your case. What can you say about it?
Yeah, but for many singers, of course, they struggle. They have a lot of problems. And for me, so far, I didn't have these problems. And I'm 54 years old, and I'm just happy I'm here in a good place. And eventually, yes, my voice will be, going down. But I think that I'm not going to rewrite any melodies just to be able to sing the songs live. In that case, I think I'm just not going to do the show because I don't want to let people down. I've seen many of my heroes go up on stage and like, no, I'm sorry, this is not good. Please, please do not do this.
Well, can you name some of them, or
No,
it's
no, no,
kind of
no, no.
embarrassing?
Yes.
Okay. And one thing, my last question for you. First of all, thanks for the interview. And
Thank you.
another Swedish band that is making a very good job is Sabaton. Do you have any opinion about and what can you say? Maybe some history, some story with you and them?
Who was it?
Sabaton.
Ah, Sabaton. Yes. No, I think we have a really good relationship with Sabaton. I mean, of course, we started earlier and kind of paved the way for many new Swedish heavy metal bands that, came after us. They came up to Hammerfall and then they just took off. I mean, Sabaton is so huge as a band over here, but it's still fun that in when was this? In 2009, they were supporting Hammerfall on tour in Europe. And in 2019, Hammerfall supported Sabaton on tour in North America. So, it's a very good relationship. It's a very healthy relationship that we are inspiring each other. It's not a competition. We're not competing. We're just, helping to make heavy metal as big as possible.
That's nice. So, thanks again. Good luck with the release and hope to see you
Thank
in
you.
Brazil again.
Can't wait. Can't wait, man. Thank you very much.
Bye bye.
Bye.